Harihi Om. Sai Ram, Vanakkam, Namaskar, Vandanam, Assalamu Alaikum, and Sat Sri Akal. Greetings. Today we are looking at a word called forbearance. Forbearance, right? Forbearance, of course, has many different meanings in many different contexts. So it has a legal meaning and it has a non-legal meaning. So we leave the legal meaning aside, right? But just taking the non-legal meaning of forbearance. Forbearance means what? Patience, self-control, self-resilience, self-restraint, the quality of having some tolerance and restraint when especially you are provoked or you are, put in a situation where you are likely to lose your temper, so it's actually a wall against anger, forbearance, yeah. So Swami Vivekananda very interestingly has said that no one can progress on the path of spirituality without having any sense of forbearance. Very, very important. No one can actually progress on the path of spirituality without having any sense of forbearance. As usual, what does Cambridge Dictionary say? It says the quality of being patient and being able to forgive someone or control yourself in a difficult situation. And that's what Cambridge Dictionary says. So I want to tell you a story from the life and times of Prophet Muhammad, right? He's telling this story. He's say there was a boy called Rami who had to leave town with his family. They were moving to a new town. So he was very sad. He said goodbye to all his friends. He visited all the places, the rivers, the places where they used to play, the little hill, the old broken house, all those. It was very sad to leave, but he had to go because his family was moving. So when they reached that new town, new city, Rami was enrolled in a new school. He was sad. At the same time, he was eager to meet new friends and start a new lease of his life. Of course, he was not going to forget all the memories that he has. But at school, he found it difficult to make friends because there was a group of students who were always taunting him, in a sense, harassing him or bullying him, for want of a lesser, stronger word. So for no reason, he was being targeted and they sort of didn't like him or didn't like from where he had come, that village boy. They used to tease him all the time, making jokes, pulling his bag and dropping things out of his bag and those kind of things, making funny faces every time he passed by them. Rami felt very bad at being treated that way, but one thing, he never tried to act like them. And, he was just patient, he had a lot of forbearance. And one day, the school or the class was going on a trip to a little waterfall area. Rami, having come from a village, and, he was a very avid swimmer, swimming in the river all the time. And he could also deep sea dive. Now, what happened was, he had a good time in the water, he was swimming and all that. And then when he came out, the group of boys that were always disturbing him, they decided to jump in. And as they jumped in, I think one boy, what happened was he sort of slipped somewhere and then he fell and he was like sinking deep into the water. And the other fellows couldn't do anything to save him. They were just shouting and, sort of jumping in the water. Rami saw this and he was actually at the top and he dived from the top into the water. Right? And he saved the little boy and dragged him out and, made sure he revived him with a bit of CPR. And, everybody was so taken, and he just, once the boy coughed out the water and he was okay, Rami just moved on. The next day in school, all the young guys went to him and they apologized. And they said, we were very, very mean to you. We were very nasty to you, but you helped us and you helped our friend. Because if you didn't do anything, he would have died. We made your life miserable, but you went out and saved the life. And then Rami said, in the Quran, it says that, Allah always says to not to react, but to respond to situations, to forgive, and never to have this attitude of revenge. He says, you guys did that, but I never kept it in my heart. I forgave you. I was affected, but, I forgave all of you. And they all hugged and they became, very good friends. So the moral of the story is good and evil deeds are not equal. Prophet Muhammad says, repel evil with what is better. Then you will see that one who was once your enemy has now become your dearest friend. Remember, nothing is more becoming in a great man than courtesy and forbearance. Nothing is more becoming in a great man than courtesy and forbearance, because forbearance is a form of generosity. Forbearance is the root of quietness and assurance forever. Until I see you next week, stay blessed.